Hello and welcome to day 16 of the Just Ship It challenge. I'm a little bit like clockwork actually with my stream. I didn't know at the beginning. I was like, will I even make it like on the second day or something? But yeah, I'm doing it. Today I almost missed it because I just finished bringing my little ones to bed. Today took quite a while. They were really excited and still wanted to play, and but somehow I made it like 2 minutes before I should stream. She fall asleep, so that's a success story, I think. So what's happening with my hair here? So anyway, day 16. So we are over half of the time, and today was actually a really good day. Yesterday I was very tired from the workshop, very tired, very exhausted. But yeah, a good night's sleep actually changes so much, and so today I made good progress, and I'm really excited that I had the first demo with my early adopter today. So I showed the tool, and he liked it very much, and he actually showed it to his VP of engineering, and they like it, and so yeah, which makes me very happy, and it's useful. So I think for the start, this is a very good start. I'm very happy about it. I'm very excited. I'm also very eager to improve the tool. There are obviously many things that after 15 days, it's not the tool that I wanted or I imagined it to be, but it's already a tiny mini MVP that works. And so I think that's a great success. Yeah, and also yeah, I think I have to start thinking about something else. And I wanted also to talk about something else. I wanted to talk about what a company is, and or how I see it, right? How I see companies, and how my view of things changed a little bit over time. And the whole thing is triggered actually by my husband, because he was working for a startup, or is working for a startup, and that startup was recently acquired, and so somehow something like that, it's a merger, right? So one company buys or merges with the other company, and now there are two companies, and a lot of things happen with the shares, and mergers also affect somehow the founders. And well, what's happening, I don't want to say too much. This is public this is a public stream, and it will be on my YouTube and things like that, right? And things are very brand new and very close, so I don't want to go too deep into it. But mergers and buyouts and all of that somehow really affect companies. I saw it before, right? So if you work for a little company, and like it was really a little company, there's a very different culture, and then it grows in a few years, it grows to something. Instead of like 4 engineers, they're like 160 engineers, right? And there's a different mentality, and I think especially if it goes up like this, everybody celebrates and they're all happy. But then if you then somehow sell the company, and this was happened for this one company, right? It somehow changes the culture. And here also in this incident now with the company that my husband works for, it's a merger, and somehow he's actually leaving because things didn't go so well during the merger, like how they treated how the negotiation went. I would say it maybe that way, right? And so there isn't the same culture in the new company. And so I'm wondering if engineers are leaving, right? And maybe founders are leaving. What's actually left? So this was actually the conversation that we had today. So what's actually left from a company? Like if some of the engineers are leaving, key engineers are leaving, if some of the founders are leaving. So what is left from a company? And somehow in the end, it's only the code, right? And that's not really, code alone is not really a company. And this is also what I try to really embrace and learn also over time. It's not only about the code, right? The company consists also of the engineers, of the knowledge that's there, of the network that it has, of the customers, obviously the customer base that it has, right? So all of that is actually a part of a company. And so if you're starting something like I am doing now, right? So I'm starting something, I'm currently I'm only writing code, but a company is much more. So what is that company, and how can I actually bring it to life? Is it something that I'm just sitting here and I'm writing my tool every day and I make it really awesome, and then this is a company? Or what are the steps that I actually have to do, right? So and it's much more, and maybe developing the tool is the easy part, is something that I know, that I'm familiar with, even though it's not easy, right? But there are many other parts, I think, that make this piece of code, this piece of software, to something, to a company, to something interesting. And so definitely in a month or half a month, right, is not the right time. But this is also why I want to shift a little bit now with the rest of the 15 days. I will definitely develop, and the huge part of it will be that, because this is the IP and this is the asset of the company. But I want to at least explore a little bit what else is there, right? And so it has to grow, right? So it's not from one day to another. There will be something, but maybe so to plant some seeds, I think, what does it need? It needs a landing page, right? It needs maybe some explanation. It needs a story. What is this tool about? What can it help with? Why would people need it? It needs some connections. So as I said, there must be a customer base. So maybe we can plant some seeds to get actually a customer base, to get a user base, right? So also deciding on how would we position this tooling, and networking, right? So many things. I mean, I don't want to tie the whole story yet now to completely the tool, because the tool is really in its baby infant shoes. I don't know if that's even an English expression, but something like that. But yeah, in the grand scheme, there's much more, right? So there is so much more that we actually have to take care of and develop and build. And yeah, this is definitely something that I have also to learn and to explore and see. And sometimes I'm thinking it would be so cool to have like a mentor, or people that I can learn from. And I'm really struggling a little bit with that, especially in these pandemic times where where should I go, right? There are no meetups happening, and there are no conferences. And even if there would be like some really face-to-face conferences, I probably wouldn't go, because I try to be really careful in these days. So I'm mainly at home. I have a little bit the connection, like my connection to the outside world is the internet right now, right? So it's reaching out on Twitter, maybe following some people that are also sharing their story, and trying to learn from them, reading stuff. But yeah, I think if you would have like a person that you could really have one-on-ones, or just share and explore, that would be really helpful. But let's see. So having some seeds would also be maybe thinking about how I could put myself up in a position that I have other people that maybe have done that before. They normally say like you should have a person that is like 5 years ahead of you. I don't know if that's true for the startup world as well, but this would be interesting, right? Having a person that has been in my shoes like 5 years ago, and can tell me about what went right and what went wrong, and how they actually came from a piece of software to a company, and how do you develop also the company culture, right? What do you want your company to be, and things like that. So I will probably do some thinking this weekend also. There's I'm part of the indie hacker community, and there's one sub part of it, I would call it like that, or like a fork, something like that. It's called Indie World, and Anthony is the leader of that, and it's actually really nice because he just started recently to have these founders one-on-ones, and I already did one with John, and so we spent an hour just chatting and discussing how we both build our businesses. And so I told him about my workshop business and how it goes and how I do it, and he told me about his business. It's mainly in the analytics space, and so I found that really helpful as well, just to exchange ideas. And maybe something like that, a little bit more deeper. I also know that for example, Justin Jackson, he does how's it called, maker space. No, I think it's called a little bit different, but something like that. And it's also a community of early, I don't know how early they are, but yeah, quite early, I think, early founders that try to figure it out. So maybe something like that would be cool for me. I don't know. Yeah, I have to a little bit explore and think about how I will do the next step for that. And yeah, and one of the things that I thought maybe it's interesting on the stream, maybe if we do the building the landing page things together, Hackerspace or Maker Faire. Yeah, I heard of both of them. Maker Faire, but how does it work? Like, is it like the indie hacker? But how do you really get in contact, with people and have like these really real connections together, right? Where you can really exchange things. So, for example, if I'm not that much anymore, but especially 2 years ago, I was a lot on the indie hacker website and listening to the podcast and reading stuff. But it's very generic, right? First of all, the same themes. I feel that people are very, very early in their journey, or they are like sharing the success story, which is nice, but very often they're not. I find the lessons are very shallow, so I cannot really apply it to my situation so much. So I'm wondering, it would be really cool to have like a more intimate space where things are happening in real time, right? So you're having a little community of people that are somehow in it together in I don't think it's maybe it shouldn't be the complete same space, because as I said, probably you learn more from somebody that's a little bit ahead of you, so people should be in different phases. But I'm really looking for something that has like this one-on-one connection. I really have a hard time also following communities that are very large and like living somewhere in a Slack space or in a Discord or something. Just because I have very, very limited time, and yeah, if I'm with my kids, I don't want to, read messages, and I always feel very stressed. Like if I'm opening Discord and they're like, you missed 2,500 messages, I'm like, how should I ever, catch up? And I know it's supposed to, when it happens, there are coming the messages, and but yeah, it doesn't really work for me. I tried it with Telegram as well, for example. I mean, this the challenge, for example, is part of Women Make, but it's impossible for me to be part of a Telegram community. So I mainly participate via Twitter, because I feel, for the Telegram, it's really like the conversations are either happening when you're there or you're not part of them. It just doesn't work for me anyway. But yeah, I will have a look at Hackerspace and Maker Faire and see a little bit how that works, and maybe there is something part of it that would make sense for me. Yeah, so maybe what I have planned for next week is a little bit next to starting or starting the landing page and maybe the website, and also making some. We did at the very beginning, like that we were thinking about, how can we phrase this, or how can we describe this tool in a few sentences, right? But I would like to take that to the next level, like really making a copy, because I think it helps you to really focus also on the important stuff of the tool, right? So it helps you also with your features and with everything. So maybe we do that together next week, and and get some publicity out there, so that the tool somehow exists, right? Because right now there's no. I got one person asking me today, so how do I sign up, or how can I be interested in it? And well, right now there is nothing, right? So we have to create anything so that people can at least sign up or express that they're interested, and I can, get in contact with people that are interested in the tool and also follow up. Yeah, that's the plan. And in general, I'm really happy with how today went, and in general how the last 14 days went. So I'm looking forward to the next half of building my tool and to my stream tomorrow. So I will be online hopefully at 9 again. And thank you so much for joining me today, and being part of my journey, and following me and being interested in what's happening. Okay. Bye bye.